Techno update. Subscribe now.
Wileyfox Swift 2 Review. Design. The Swift 2 comes with a factory-applied screen protector. However, it doesn't actually stick to the screen properly around the edges, giving it a weird-looking border. This may be because there's a very slight 2.5D curvature to the sides of the screen, even though the protector doesn't appear to reach the curve. You can always take it off, but it's a shame. Beneath the protector, the Wileyfox Swift 2's display is covered with Gorilla Glass 3, a very good, if slightly dated, toughened glass. We're on to Gorilla Glass 5 now, making this 2 generations behind. But at this price, it seems silly to complain. Storage will vary according to the version of the phone you opt for, 16GB with the standard Swift 2, 32GB in the Plus. I'm using the Plus version, whose storage is actually pretty quick, reading at 214 MB per second and writing at 77 MB per second. As you can add a microSD card to either model, you don't need to obsess too much over this storage difference. Screen. The Wileyfox Swift 2 has a 5-inch screen. Most of the basics of its screen tech are great. It's a fully laminated IPS screen, meaning the image appears to be right on the top of the display, and there isn't much in the way of brightness drop-off when you look at the screen from an angle. Switching from a 5.5-inch phone, I did find that typing accuracy was pretty awful to begin. If you use swipe-style typing, you'll have no problems. This is where you draw a line between characters, rather than tapping on each letter separately. CyanogenMod software. The Wileyfox Swift 2 runs Android 6.0.1 and the CyanogenMod custom interface. This isn't something Wileyfox has made, but a community-produced piece of software that in recent years has become a much more commercial operation. The slight issue is that since this commercial venture didn't prove a huge success, the future of CyanogenMod in its current state is in doubt. However, Wileyfox has assured us the phone will receive updates. A version of CyanogenMod using Android 7.0 has already been released elsewhere too, so there's plenty of update potential ahead. Performance. The handset has an entry-level, or mid-range, if we're being generous, CPU, but it's a good one, and well-suited to the 720p resolution. It's a Snapdragon 430, an octa-core processor that has a new Adreno 505 GPU. This is actually more powerful than the one used in the Snapdragon 617. On the whole, the latest 4 series Snapdragon processors are pretty punchy, and the Wileyfox Swift 2 seems to have power to spare with current-gen games. This is a processor designed to handle 1080p devices, after all. Camera. It uses the Samsung S5K3P3 sensor, a 16-megapixel 1/3.1-inch model, which isn't stabilized. Unfortunately, this makes it one of the lowest-spec 16-megapixel phone cameras I've seen. The front camera in the Wileyfox Swift 2 is an Omnivision 8856, an 8-megapixel sensor that appears to be pretty decent, mostly because we don't have the same lofty expectations that we do with the 16-megapixel rear camera. It's a classic small 1/4-inch sensor, although it actually has larger sensor pixels than the front one. Battery life. Both the standard and Plus versions of the Wileyfox Swift 2 feature 2,700 mAh batteries. That may not compare to the 3,000 mAh or more cells of other handsets, but remember that this device has only a 5-inch 720p screen,